Hey everybody, glad you're there today. Hope I know we have a lot of new people here today, and I'm glad that you're here. Hope this is going to be useful for you. Um, we're going to look at using the instring function, and let me go ahead and while people are still logging on here, let me do like the 20-minute commercial. So we're going to look at putting the instring. We look at the instring function. And then we're going to evaluate a field. And so here's our instring function right here, the syntax for it. Instring, you get the field name, and inside the quotes is whatever you're looking for inside that string. So what we're going to do, the first time we're going to do it is we're going to create the formula for the instring field, and then we're going to pull the information out with another field. Then I'm going to show you how to do it with a variable, so you're just using one formula. So I'll show both. So, okay, here's the commercial. We do customized CRISP report training using your data to build the reports. And you can contact Tom Zidell or myself for more information. To be honest, I really contact Tom Zidell. Okay, I know you're laughing out there, but that's okay. I really do. Here's Tom Zidell's number and email, and you can call me as well. And then if you want to look at previous webinars, here's the archive site. I want to again say thank you to Mary Kay, Jeff, and Aaron. They sent this example to me this week. And so let me tell you what our example is going to be, and I'll come back to that screen in just a little bit. I'm going to pop open the CRISP reports. So the example is they have loss in table that they want to, loss in user tables, which they want to, there's not enough loss in user tables, so they want to utilize one field, or I say table, loss in fields. So what happens, they want to utilize a field, and want to know if there's a way they can do that. And one way that came up to me was using the instring. So here's one field right here. Let's say this is a loss in table, and I need to put two values in there, and I want to separate the values. So what we're going to use is the instring function. So I need to know what is this value is being separated by. So if you look in here, I've got this is a last name and first name of a person, and so actually I want to make this into I want to separate these two values. So let's say it could be in department value, or it could be in employee value, whatever's in there, but we want to separate it. So I just need to find out what's separating these two values, which are using the pound sign. So I'm going to go over here to the formula field, and I'm going to open this up, select new, and I'm just going to call this I'm just going to call this instring. INSTR, just to give it a name. Well, I used a lot of creation on that, didn't I? So I want to call up the instring function. If you look up here the functions, I'm thinking, well, which one is it? Most likely, because you're talking about instrings, it's going to be in the string functions inside here. So here it is up here. It tells you all of the functionalities up here. I'm going to highlight the first one, or actually I'm going to highlight the third one. That's one we're going to use today. And go up here and see what actually the syntax for this. Oop, how about highlight? Ooh, wow, already. This thing's, I love when we do it live because it wants to act up. I'm highlight that, hit the question. It's going to tell me that, okay, here's your in-string, start string 1 and string 2. String 1 is going to be the text that we're searching, and 2 is going to be what we're going to be pulling out of it within the first string. So in this one, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to double click on in-string 1 and 2. My first one is actually the field that I want to evaluate. So I'm going to go up here to the report fields, and we're evaluating the name. And what we're separating the values is the pound sign. So within quotes, literally, in fact, let me scroll, I should have left that example up here. Oops, undo. Whatever's inside quotes inside the second comma is what we're going to evaluate. So in string, we'll look at this first field, and it's going to look for the pound sign. And yeah, it does matter if you have double or single quotes. I'm going to check the syntax and know where it's found, and click OK here. And we're going to stick this field inside here. So let me drop it right there. So what it's going to do is it's going to tell me that the pound sign is the 7th character inside this field. So if I want to get like the first name, I'm going to create another field called first name, another formula called first name. So new. So there's first name. And what I'm going to do is I need to look at this, and I want to do grab the formula I just had. So the formula is going to be up here. So here's the in-string formula. I'm going to, you know, look, my mind goes blank. I've looked at this thing, I've done it 1,000 times. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to grab the name, And then I want the name to start at, I'm going to do a substring here. So I'm going to go up here and put the square, and this is going to start at the instring. So I'll put the instring in there. Instring gives you the value of 7, so I'm going to go 7 plus 1 is where it starts, and it's going to go to however wide the field is. And I'm not sure how wide the field is. I'm going to go up here to the name. I'm going to browse the data, and it tells me that this field is 255 characters long. So I'm going to tell it to go from that string, which is a 7, which is the blank, and go plus 1, which is going to give me the very first letter after that, to 255. So I'll save that and close it. There's an error. Okay, what's error? Okay, I know some of you are saying, yeah, you're supposed to square bracket instead of the close paren. So now I'm going to check the syntax. No errors there. I'll go back. And so now this started at 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's 7. So this should be 8. So I'm going to grab first name and put it right next to the other one. So there's the name. Now what happens if I just want the first part of that field? Well, I'm going to go back in here and right click, and I'm going to call this one last name because you can see the actual data that's in there. Last name, if I could even spell. So this time I'm going to grab the name again, the field, but I want to start at the very first character. So I'm going to say start at the first character and go to, and let me put this in parens, the instring formula plus 1. Actually, instring formula minus 1. Thank you. I heard that someone say that in the background. So let's close paren and close square bracket. Check that syntax. No errors found. I'm going to save and close. And then I'm going to put the last name in there. The reason I go to Design tab to put in there is just it's easier to see the sections when I drop it inside there. So preview. So I'm grabbing the values inside of this one name field based on an instring function and telling it to grab it, the first name at the instring plus 1, and the last name, which is the very first, is the instring minus 1. Now let me do it real quickly. Let me do a variable and show you how to do it in one formula. So I'm going to go in here and I'm very creative. I'm going to call this one formula. Okay, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to do while printing records. And you really don't have to do this while printing records, but I'm going to on the second pass. And I'm going to do the end string. So I'm going to go up here to do end string. I see this is going to be local. It's going to be variable, so it's going to be local var. It's going to be local, excuse me. It's going to be a string var. And we're going to call it, I don't want to call it instring because that's what it's called, but I could call it that one too. I'm just going to call it INS. And we're going to assign it a value. And the value is going to be instring. Now, if you forget how to spell the instring, just hold down the control button, hit the space bar, and start with the I, N, and there it is right there, instring. Okay, open paren. We're going to grab the name, if I could find, where is the name? Here's the name. And then comma, and inside quotes, we're going to put the pound sign. Oops. Close quote. So there's our value. So I'm going to put the semicolon behind that, go down the next line. And then I'm going to call this, I'm going to call this one global because I want to be able to pull it out. I called the first one local because I kept it inside here. This is going to be global string var, and it's not blue, so it's not true. String var. We're going to call this FN for first name. We're going to assign the value of, we're going to grab the name again. And then in here we're going to put first name, square brackets, and we're starting at the INS. See, I'm going to grab this value right here. So it's going to be INS plus 1, and then comma, and then Actually, it's INS plus 1, starting there in 255. Oops. And that's the first name. So I'm going to go down here and put a semicolon behind that to end that part of the function. So I'm going to do the same thing here. In fact, I'm just going to copy this one and paste it down. We'll call this ln for last name. And then we're going to do kill this here. This is going to be -1. And go before this, and it's going to be 1, 2, the word 2, -1. Now, if I wanted to separate it like I did in the others, I could get a formula and bring it outside there, or if I want to go down here and get rid of the pound sign and just now make this a first name, last name, I can just do the FN and put ampersand, and I'm going to have a space, and the space is going to be in between two quotes, and then ampersand, and I'm going to grab LN, which is the last name. So now when I look at this, it's going to look at, it's going to bring in the string, or instring. It's going to bring in this value. The first one says the first name is going to start at the instring, which is whatever the record is, +1 to 255, which is the first name. The second one is going to be the last name starting at the first character to wherever the instring is, -1. And then we've got actually the name here. So now I'm going to save and close this. There is an error. What is it? Okay. What's the error? I'm looking at this and trying to figure it out. Okay, here's part of the error. This isn't spelled right. While printing records. Now let me show you one way of doing that. If I turn that to blue, it's going to be right. And long words like that really throw me off, so if I really want to find it, I'm going to do Control Spacebar, and then WHI while printing records, and there it is, and that was a problem. So let's check the syntax. Now, a string needs to be here. So a string needs to be here. Name. Okay, so what you're telling me, and you're exactly correct, this is a number. So it's not a string var, it's actually a number var. So I like it when I do it in my head and get out here and
The organizer has ended the session, and this